Hi, I'm James, and in this video I am taking a look at fitting a solid state drive to this HP laptop, which is a 15-P165SA in this lovely shade of light red. Now, I've already gone through, because people say I spend half my videos removing screws, I've removed the visible screws on the base of this with the exception here, and we're just going to go through to begin with how to get to the hidden screws on this model. So to start with, we need to release the battery. There are three sizes of screws on this particular model. All the base ones that we can see initially are the same size. Then we have one smaller in the optical drive and a couple short ones as well. So first of all, if we take that one out there, I'm now going to remove the optical base screw. Optical drive screw, I should say, and with that taken out we can remove our DVD drive. Under here we see we have this large sort of flat-headed but very short thread edge screw. Under this little cover here as well, if we flick that out, we also have one additional hidden screw which we need to just lift out like so. Then what we need to do is take our plastic pry tool and lift these feet, and under these it does take a bit. I've had these off previously, it does take a bit of levering the first time to get those off, and I did use this metal tool the first time. Now here we have the other size of screw, which are these shorter ones under each of the hidden feet, and basically there's a screw here on each corner that we need to remove. So with those out, we can now, if we sort of lift and slide back, take off those little corner covers and two final screws in each corner here. So what we're going to do next is flip the laptop over and get working on removing the top panel. So if we flip our laptop back over, I often get asked how I clone hard drives. In this case I used a True Image, as we were going from a 1 terabyte hard drive with not a lot of space used to a 240 gigabyte SSD, and we want to retain all the user data and so on. You can use like Windows System Image if you're going to a larger drive or equal capacity, but normally you'll find if you're going to an SSD you're going smaller. Alternatively, of course, you could clean install Windows onto the SSD, but this customer had data and applications they wanted to transfer over, so that is the easier option. What we are doing is just going around with this plastic pry tool and just releasing the inner top panel. This is slightly different to some HP constructions in that the top panel actually lifts out, and the main board sits in the lower tray. A lot of them now, it's actually attached to this base, and you remove to the top panel and you remove the base. This is the opposite on this machine. So we're just going to go around and keep trying to free these up. It's not necessarily the easiest machine to go through and do this on, but if we go on the back here, you'll see those should... Again, I'm using the plastic pry tool. I try to avoid the metal on these kinds of sections because we don't want to leave any sort of visible marking on the chassis, because it looks very ugly if you've got big pry marks where you separated everything. Try not to put too much pressure in as well if you just kind of want to ease it out, just to try and avoid breaking too many of the little plastic clips inside. So with that properly removed, now we can see that lifts up, snaps out from the back by just pulling up. Now what I'm going to do is just reposition the camera. Now what we need to do here, because the top panel is coming out. We need to lift this. I'm just going to fold the screen inwards to better balance. And we can see here there are a few ribbon cables connected that we need to disconnect. So first of all, keyboard, each of these we can just lift with fingernails, pull that ribbon cable out. Obviously this is a little bit fiddly when you're reconnecting things because you have to do it with things in the way. And one final one over here. And we can lift that panel out as so. Now, I'm not going to do anything with the memory today. If we did want to go in and do that, we would have to take the main board out, which would be a case of releasing the screws under here, lifting the board out. But because we're not doing that, we're purely interested in fitting an SSD today. We're going to be going over to the hard drive. Now, looking at the hard drive itself, getting into this fairly easy. We have our replacement SSD here, so we are going to release this clip, slide out the little daughterboard cable, and then to get to the hard drive we just need to, again I just use my pry tool just to make things a little easier. Put the screwdriver over that to stop it flicking back over. So lift the hard drive out and disconnect the SATA connector, and these rails on the side aren't actually screwed on, they just press into place. So we can slot these onto our new drive. Clip new drive in place and just angle it in and down. We can now reconnect this ribbon cable. And in terms of going from here, I'm going to clean up the fan and so on. The most difficult bit is really just reattaching those cables, so if you put the top panel in place and just sort of go the back corner first and then these two front ones as you lower it down, and then just clip things back in and screw together. I hope you found this video useful, and do let me know if you've got any questions in the comments below, and hit subscribe if you'd like to see more videos as we post them. Thanks for watching.